Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Classic TV Live Trivia on the TV Show Trivia Quiz YouTube channel. My name is Bob. Welcome to the show. In this episode of Classic TV Live, I will be talking about the classic TV show Matlock, starring Andy Griffith as Ben Matlock. And now, without further ado, let's get on to the classic TV show Matlock. Now, Matlock is an American mystery legal drama television series created by the one and only Dean Hargrove, starring Andy Griffith in the title role of criminal defense attorney Ben Matlock. Now, Matlock originally aired from March the 3rd, 1986 through May the 8th, 1992 on the network NBC, and from November the 5th, 1992 through May the 7th, 1995 on the network ABC. Now, during our Matlock trivia later on in the broadcast, we will see if he ever appears on the network CBS. He does, but not on Matlock. He will appear on another show. So just a little tease for the trivia later on. Now, the show's format is similar to that of CBS Perry Mason, with Matlock identifying the killer and then confronting them in the dramatic courtroom series. Now, both television series and the 1980s Perry Mason television movies were created by the one and only Dean Hargrove. Now, both Matlock and Perry Mason were one of my favorite shows to watch growing up. Now, let's get to where it all started. In the pilot, Diary of a Perfect Murder, Ben Matlock, played by Andy Griffith, and his daughter Charlene, played by Lori Lethin, defend TV journalist Steve Emerson, played by Steve Inwood, who is accused of killing Linda Coolidge, played by Catherine Cannon, his ex-wife. Now, Lori Lethin made her television debut in 1979 on the classic TV series Charlie's Angels in the episode Teen Angels. Now, Matlock originally aired as a 2-hour series premiere during the spring of the 1985-86 network TV season, with 2-part airings. In this TV movie, it mentions that Ben's mom is still alive, but in later episodes it says that his mom died when he was young. Now, the courtroom used is also different and larger, and the theme song and credits are uniquely composed to this story, while the full series would use a more upbeat rendition of the theme tune. Now, to go along with the more serious theme song, the opening credits in the pilot were accompanied by still photographs with colored blocks. Now, in the TV series, they actually used video clips from the show. Now, Andy Griffith plays Ben Matlock, a criminal defense lawyer based in Atlanta, Georgia. Matlock is typically identifies and confronts the killer in a dramatic courtroom scene. His goal, most often, is to prove reasonable doubt of his client's guilt. Now, the series premiered with Ben Matlock having a law practice with his daughter Charlene in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, Charlene in the pilot, like I said, was played by Lori Lethin in the pilot movie. Now, in the TV series, Linda Purl took over the role when the series went to air. Now, Linda Purl played on Happy Days. First, she played Gloria, Richie Cunningham's girlfriend, in 1974. And then later she plays Ashley, Fonzie's girlfriend, from 1982 to 1983. Now, Matlock also employed stock market whiz Tyler Hudson, played by Kene Holliday, as a private investigator. Now, Tyler would often go undercover for Matlock to gather information for the cases for Ben. Now, Kene Holliday made his television debut in 1976 playing District Attorney Dunn on Kojak. And then later, he played Sergeant Curtis Baker on Carter Country in 1977. Now, Matlock's most frequent legal adversary was Julie Marsh, played by Julie Sommars, a Nebraska native. Although their jobs as prosecutors and defense attorneys made them professional rivals, their friendship outside the court was very special. Now, Julie Sommars is best known for her portrayal of Julie Marsh on Matlock. Now, Sommars made her television debut on the Loretta Young Show at the age of 18 in 1960. Toward the end of the first season, Matlock took on cocky law student Cassie Phillips, played by Kari as an office worker. Now, Kari made her acting debut in the film Smokey Bites the Dust in 1981. Don't need to realize that this is not Smokey and the Bandit starring Burt Reynolds, but this is the movie Smokey Bites the Dust in 1981. After the first season ended, Linda Purl departed from the series, and her character, Charlene, moved to Philadelphia to start her own law practice. To begin the second season, Matlock went to London to try a case where he met Michelle Thomas, played by Nancy Stafford. After the case was over, Michelle followed Matlock to the U.S. and became his law partner. Now, Nancy Stafford made her television debut in 1982 on the NBC soap opera The Doctors. Now, in this episode, which is entitled The Billionaire, David McCallum plays Philip Dudley. McCallum also plays Donald Maller on the hit TV series NCIS. Cassie stayed on as a file clerk until the end of the season, when she disappeared for reasons never made clear. With Liza's departure, Julie Sommars became a regular cast member. Now, Kene Holliday was fired after the third season for drug and alcohol abuse, but he had a recurring role in season 4, The Bestseller. That was episode 4, and then The Witness in episode 14. Then Matlock hired Conrad McMasters, played by Clarence Gilyard Jr., a young former North Carolina deputy sheriff, to be his new investigator. Now, Clarence Gilyard Jr. made his television debut in 1981 on the television show Different Strokes where he played Frank Simpson. Like Tyler, Conrad would also go undercover to gather information about the case. However, the two characters were different in their personalities and approaches to the job. Now, on the scene for Matlock is one of my favorite characters on the Andy Griffith Show, Don Knotts. He co-starred with Griffith on the Andy Griffith Show, as I said. He began making frequent appearances as Les Ace Calhoun, Matlock's next door neighbor. Now, Don Knotts is best known as Barney Fife on the Andy Griffith Show. Knotts made his television debut in 1953 on the soap opera Search for Tomorrow. He made his film debut in 1958 in the movie No Time for Sergeants. Both Knotts and Griffith were in this movie. Of course, Andy Griffith was the star of No Time for Sergeants in 1958. Now, Brynn Thayer appeared in 2 seasons, 6 episodes. The suspect in episodes 7 and 8 as Roxanne Windermere, a rich widow charged with murder with whom Ben becomes very smitten. Now, Brynn Thayer made her television debut in 1978 in the soap opera One Life to Live, where she played Jenny Wolak. So you can see many of the actors and actresses of the time, a lot of time would make their debut on television on different soap operas. Then in the season finale, The Vacation, in episodes 21 and 22, she appeared as Leanne MacIntyre, Ben's previously unmentioned daughter, who takes on the case of a murdered mayor. She joined the cast full-time in season 7. Then Daniel Roebuck joined Thayer as a new regular for season 7 as Cliff Lewis, a naive young lawyer and associate. Daniel Roebuck made his television debut on Matlock in 1987, but not as Cliff Lewis. Stay tuned to the Matlock trivia, and we will talk a little bit more about that. Also, if you're an NCIS fan, you may recognize him from the episode Boxed In 2006. So if you're ever watching that episode, see if you can locate Daniel Roebuck in that episode. Now we have Cliff Lewis. Now we are introduced to Cliff Lewis's father. Warren Frost joined the cast in a recurring role as Billy Lewis, Cliff's father and a personal nemesis from Matlock's past. Ben had abandoned a romance with Billy's sister to pursue his law degree. Now, Warren Frost is known for his roles on Matlock as Billy Lewis and on Seinfeld as Henry Ross. Now, the move in 1992 to the network ABC for the remainder of the series caused some cast turnover. One was Nancy Stafford left the series to spend more time with her husband. She had recently gotten married. Now, Julie Sommars followed, although she did play a recurring role in several episodes toward the end of the series. Then also Don Knotts left, so he never came back to the series. Now, I remember when that happened. If I remember correctly, that the show went off the air on NBC, and then a lot of the fans wrote in to the producers and wanted the series to continue. So eventually ABC picked it up in 1992. Now, with Roebuck joining the cast, Gilyard's role was diminished. After season 7 ended, Gilyard left the series to join the new CBS series Walker, Texas Ranger, although he appeared once in season 8, The View, in episode 5. At the end of season 8, Thayer departed from the series. In the first episode of season 9, The Accused, Ben tells Billy Lewis that Leanne moved to Los Angeles, seems to like her job, and has a fella. Now, in the final season, Carol Huston joined the series as Jerri Stone, a private investigator. Like Conrad, Jerri and Ben had similar hobbies, and one that Jerri and Ben hobby had was singing. Now, Carol Huston made her television debut in 1987 in the TV series The Charming. She is best known for her role in Matlock. Now, in 2003, she left acting to become a real estate agent in the state of California. Matlock aired a total of 193 episodes across 9 seasons and began with a TV movie. 12 2-hour and 15 2-part episodes of the program were aired. Now, 6 of the episodes were what they call clip shows, with mostly minor plots that paved the way for scenes from previous stories. Now, before we get to the trivia, David Froman was best known for his role as Lieutenant Bob Brooks on Matlock. I believe he started in season 2. Then also we remember that Anita Corso played in 7 episodes on Matlock. Now, we remember Anita Corso from the Andy Griffith Show, where she played Andy Taylor's girlfriend, Helen Crump. So she played in 7 episodes. And then in the first season, James McEachin played in 8 episodes in the first season of Matlock. He sort of played the role that Lieutenant Bob Brooks played in season number 2. Now, let's get on to Matlock trivia. But first, if you are enjoying the show, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with a friend. I really would appreciate it. Now let's look at some Matlock trivia. Besides Don Knotts, other former cast members of the Andy Griffith Show to appear were Anita Corso, Jack Dodson, Betty Lynn, and Arlene Galanka. Now, as we've already mentioned, Anita Corso played Helen Crump. Now, Jack Dodson, he played, I believe, 2 characters. One character at first, and then eventually the one he's known for in the Andy Griffith Show, and that is Howard Sprague. Now, Betty Lynn also appeared on Matlock. She was from the Andy Griffith Show. We all remember her as Barney Fife's girlfriend, Thelma Lou. And then Arlene Galanka makes one appearance in Matlock. She played toward the end of the Andy Griffith Show, where she played at first the girlfriend of Howard Sprague and then of Ken Jones. On one of the episodes, the series revisited the Andy Griffith Show by recreating the knife scene with Don Knotts from the 5th season episode entitled Barney's Uniform. Now, Dick Van Dyke made a guest appearance on the premiere episode, not the pilot, but the premiere episode of season 1, called The Judge, where he played the judge who murders his cheating mistress and frames her boyfriend. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Betty Lynn played Ben's secretary, Sarah. Now, Sarah was also the name of the never-seen telephone operator in Mayberry on the Andy Griffith Show. In 1997, 2 years after the end of the series, Andy Griffith reprised the role of Matlock on a 2-part episode of Diagnosis Murder. This would mark his final appearance in the role, and the only time the Matlock character was seen on CBS. So there's our answer. He played on Diagnosis Murder in the role of Ben Matlock, but not on the show Matlock, but on the show Diagnosis Murder on CBS. Now, Daniel Roebuck played 3 different roles on this show. As I said before, his first time was in 1987, where he made his television debut. Daniel Roebuck played 3 different roles on the show before finally getting cast as Cliff Lewis in season 7. Although Charlene, played by Linda Purl, and Leanne, played by Brynn Thayer, were supposed to be sisters, no mention is ever made of their connection during the series. Now, Nancy Stafford, Kari, Daniel Roebuck, and Brynn Thayer all had guest appearances on the show before taking the roles of Michelle, Cassie, Cliff, and Leanne. Now, country music star Randy Travis had a guest role of Billy Wheeler, who was a country singer that had been idolized by Ben Matlock. Now, Jean Spiegel Howard, Ron Howard's mother. Of course, Ron Howard is a famous director of movies. He played Opie Taylor on the Andy Griffith Show. She made a guest appearance on season 1 in the episode The Doctors. Now, Ben Matlock always loved hot dogs. Whenever you're watching the series, either he comes out of court, and in the room as you come out of the court, there would be a hot dog stand. He would always get a hot dog. Or if he was outside the courtroom, outside, maybe during lunch or between sessions of court, there would be a hot dog stand, and he would always get hot dogs. So Ben loved hot dogs. Now, off camera, Andy Griffith preferred to eat apples and peanut butter. According to Dean Hargrove, Griffith always had to have apple slices and peanut butter on the set. This is a rumor, but pretty much we think it's true. The Ben Matlock character was based on real-life defense attorney Bobby Lee Cook in Summerville, Georgia, in Chattahooga County. After starring in the Andy Griffith Show reunion movie, returned to Mayberry in 1986, Andy Griffith got the role of Ben Matlock. Now, I remember this also. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I don't believe I am, that Matlock actually started airing on television before the movie Return to Mayberry in 1986. I don't know if it was the series or if the pilot movie, but I remember that being on before the actual movie came on the air in 1986. So these are some of the trivia, Matlock trivia. Now, a couple of years ago, I started a series on how well do you know or remember the cast of a particular TV show. And one of my most popular and most viewed videos is on Matlock. How well do you know the cast of Matlock? Now, in the description section below the video, be sure to check that out. I've got a lot of things, but I've got a playlist of all the how well do you know or remember the cast of a particular TV show. I've got a playlist in there, and of course, the one on Matlock will be in that playlist. So check it out at your convenience. Also, in the description section, if you are looking to own any DVDs on Matlock, I have an affiliate link there that you can click on. It'll take you directly to Amazon, where you can purchase many of the DVDs, or you may want to, I believe Amazon Prime has some of the shows on there that may be free at the time. I'm not sure right now, but you can check that. And some of the cable stations or streaming stations are airing Matlock. I believe either MeTV has them on there, and I believe Get TV also has Matlock on there. But one of the DVDs that's on the season 1, if you're looking to see the pilot movie, I know it's on the season 1 DVD series, and I've got let me go full screen where you can see it. But I do have the season 1 Matlock, the first season, so you can if you're looking for the pilot, be sure to I know it's in season 1. I'm sure they've got the full set, but you can check that out. Let me go back to this layout here, and there are a lot of other things in there. If you're enjoying the background music, it is provided by Creator Mix, by Nick Nimmin and D Nimmin. So if you are a creator of YouTube videos and are looking for copyright-free music that is free for your usage, I have a link in the description below that'll take you directly to Creator Mix, and you can find out all the details. Now, to let you know about next week's show. Next week's show, we will be having this show, Classic TV Live Trivia, every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time on this same TV show Trivia Quiz YouTube channel. I really do appreciate you watching Talking Classic TV on the Classic TV Live Trivia show on the TV show Trivia Quiz YouTube channel. Now, next week, just to let you know, next week we will be looking at the classic TV series Leave It to Beaver. Now, with the recent passing of Tony Dow, who played Wally Cleaver. So we will be looking this pretty much the same format on the show next week. That'll be at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. So subscribe and hit the bell notification to be reminded when I go live. Now, for the next few minutes, I mentioned the background music from Creator Mix. We're going to listen just a little bit to that. I'll let you know when we are going off the air, but let you hear a little bit without me talking. All right, everybody, we're fixing to end the broadcast. Be sure to tune in next week at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central on Tuesday morning, where we will be looking at the classic TV show Leave It to Beaver, starring Jerri Matters and Tony Dow. If you would like to support Classic TV Live Trivia, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description below. And like I said, I've got a playlist of all the different videos I've done on how well do you know the cast of a particular show. Be sure to check that out. So we'll see you next week at 10 o'clock Eastern and 9 o'clock Central on Tuesday morning. Hope everyone has a great day, and remember to be safe. Thanks for watching.